Hey everybody, welcome to Bourbon and Branding. My name is Jason.
I'm Dave.
And today we are sampling the Penelope Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Pretty excited about this because Oregon just got this in. We have not been able to get this.
Because we're late to the game.
Always late to the game. And our local liquor store had a bottle, so we picked it up and we're excited to try it. Yeah, so let's dive in. All right, Dave, drinking the Penelope Bourbon Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is their 4-grain, 80 proof. I think this is the least expensive in the line that you can buy.
So the thing that I think is really interesting about it too, we looked at all of them on the shelf, and I think they do a great job at presenting on the shelf. Standing out for several reasons, but one thing I did note right away was with the toasted oak and the what was the other one?
The cast strength.
The cast strength.
Or barrel strength.
They screen print this floral element right onto the bottle, and of course there's a higher cost in that, and so I noticed right away for those higher priced bottles, which they look like they ranged about twice as much.
Yeah.
They clearly invested a lot more in the presentation, the packaging presentation there. But,
Well, I'm excited to try it. Cheers.
Cheers.
So let us know if you guys have had Penelope. I've watched a handful of videos on it and have seen other people review it, but I have not obviously had the chance. I bought it today, actually. You guys are probably not seeing this on today. I don't know how that works exactly, but we bought it
early
and we're
November.
Like, we got to shoot this right away because I don't know. I think the packaging. I know the other ones are right on the bottle. It looks great, but I really like this presentation. I think. The color of the whiskey, the color, the gold that they chose, I think it all goes really well. Personally, I like it.
I think the one thing that I've noticed with these guys, and I'm starting to see this more and more with a lot of the whiskey brands in the CPG world, is kind of mimicking a little bit of the wine world, in the way that they're presenting their bottles. And I know that sounds really weird, but a lot of these taller bottles with the longer neck bottles, I'm seeing that more and more, and honestly, if you weren't familiar with Penelope at all, if you were to just walk into a liquor store and you saw the way that the brand itself was presented with the packaging, it almost would pass for wine.
Oh,
like
100%.
it very much feels. And in Oregon, we're very familiar with a lot of these
wine,
visual identities surrounding wine.
No, that's a good point. I didn't think about that, but yeah, if you basically put a Pinot in this or something,
You wouldn't be able to, yeah.
It would look
It would pass.
as a wine, yeah, for sure.
And I'm wondering, I know you said it was a husband and wife team who makes this.
Yeah, and I think
How much is inspired by that kind of familial element of their story? I'm curious about their story a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's fairly new. I mean, 2018 is when they started, so it's only a 6-year-old company, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know. You guys can tell us in the comments. You might know more about Penelope brand than I do. But I don't think they do their own distilling.
So I'm curious, about blended whiskeys. I'm always curious about this because there's tons of them out there, from anywhere from Johnny Walker to anything else. It's essentially a collection of other people's distilling work then at that point, right?
Well, and that's what I'm not totally sure is if they are distilling this and it's their own whiskey that they're then blending,
okay.
or if I didn't read anywhere where they are sourcing their whiskey, I guess is a better way of saying it. I'm not sure if they own it or if they're buying it from different places and then they're blending it. Because like Widow Jane, they're not distilling their own whiskey. They're buying it from different places.
Okay.
And then they cut it with the New York water that they have at the not the creek, but what is it called? I don't know.
Wherever the heck they make
the
that
Widow
stuff.
Jane mine water, whatever it is. But anyway, so they're just blending it. So I don't know. That'll be something you guys can let us know in the comments if you know more about where they source their whiskey. What's unique about one of the other things unique about Penelope whiskey is that it's a 4-grain. So this is a corn, rye, wheat, and malted barley mix. So a lot of times you just typically get corn and rye, or corn and for bourbon you got to have 51% corn. So you always get corn, and then maybe barley. Usually 2 to 3.
Gotcha.
But they do a 4-grain. So
Curious about the color too. It's got a really unique color.
Yeah.
And like when I first saw it, I thought, man, it's really light. It feels like but I think it's just probably the grain, the way that it's made.
Yeah, it's a very
gold,
goldish almost. Yeah.
Yeah, which it's interesting too with the big P, their letter type up there, how it's just so gold and embossed. It kind of, the whole thing kind of goes together.
And it's kind of cool. They named Penelope after their daughter, so that's kind of they got the family element.
That's what I mean. The story is interesting, I think, for them, and I think for being so heavily focused on their story and the familial element, I actually think it's appropriate the way they bottled it, the way it feels almost like a wine bottle, because when there's something very familial with wine culture in general.
Yeah.
My wife and I, so we also enjoy wine quite a bit. We're members at several of the wineries around here, and it's a very different culture than the whiskey culture. There's just a different feeling about it, and I can totally see this fitting in with that.
Yeah, 100%.
I know that sounds weird, but
no, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. I am curious too, maybe you guys know at home, there's this floral element all over all of their packaging. It's on their website, it's on pretty much everything that I'm seeing with Penelope on it. And I'm curious if there was an intention with that, what that is supposed to be. Is it like a specific type of flower? Is it representative of who they are, or maybe the story about their daughter? I don't know. So I think one thing that this bottle does is it makes me ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
With some of the way they presented it, which is not bad. The story is interesting.
Yeah, I think just from a pure consumer standpoint, I think the gold for me stands out. You hit it right on the head with the wine feeling. Now that you said that, I totally get that vibe. Like.
Yeah, I noticed it right away in the store. It stuck out from all the others.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm ready to give my score.
You're gonna rate Penelope?
I'm gonna rate.
You're gonna break some hearts. All right.
So I think right out of the bat, knowing that this is 80 proof, it's not as smooth as most low proof or lower proof whiskeys are. Like there's a lot of lower proof whiskeys that drink really, really smooth. Just, I think we're so used to higher proof stuff that when you get to an 80 proof, you're just like ready to kind of enjoy it. It's just going to kind of, sit on your palate a little bit, be just a very smooth drink.
Yeah.
This drink's more like something, like if I did this blind, I would probably guess this was like 94, 95 for me.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't smell this. The nose is not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is a floral element almost.
I think it's the. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not aggressive. It's not an Elijah
sure.
Craig
No,
barrel
yeah,
strength
of
or
course
anything. It's
not,
not
no.
crazy like that. I mean, it's much smoother than that. But if you compare this to, say, like I just mentioned, Blanton's or something like that, which is like a typically lower, like a lower proof, it's not quite as smooth, and it's not quite as maybe as complex as that, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think taste-wise, it's caramel, and I don't know if I get...
I'm going to jump in. I'm going to give it a 3, and I'm not going to give it an everyday drinker. I would drink this neat.
Okay. Wow, you cut me off because that's like I started this. You like...
Well, that's what you get for always trying to introduce me. So I'm just going to jump in there.
All right, fair. So 3, not a daily drinker.
3, not a daily drinker, and I drink it neat.
Okay.
I don't know what I would... Because it doesn't have the heat that you would expect for a mixed drink. You couldn't make, a great mixed drink with this.
I mean, you could probably make a mixed drink, but it's going to hide itself.
It's not going to be...
It's not going to stand out. It's like $36 or something, so it might be a good, a mixer for something that you not an old fashioned, not something that you want it to really be pronounced. Right. I think I agree with you. I'm also going to give it a 3. I'm not going to give it a daily drinker, and I would drink it neat too as well. Yeah, I think you could put it in a mixed drink, but this is just too good of... I think the packaging is worth a conversation, and I think this is how you would enjoy it. But it would be something I would have on the shelf as a talking point. Somebody wants to try it, but not something I'm going to grab regularly.
One thing I would note to them, though, too, and looking at the overall presentation of the visual identity for them, the website is fine. And I know you have a sticking point with your websites immediately when he's like, we need to look at the website. We need to look at the website. But the one thing I noticed is it's kind of this recycled floral element on every single thing, which makes me like, is that important? What is it? What is that for? And I think as a brand person, I'm constantly analyzing all of those things because I think they should all point to the story you're trying to tell. So, curious, Penelope, what is the intention with that? Why did you put that on there? Why is it so much everywhere?
It is very pronounced on everything and on the website. And the website it's okay.
It's informational.
It's informational. Yeah. It's definitely information forward, which I don't mind.
Which for being so you would think it would feel like with wineries or anything, you get this very highly presented visual identity.
Yeah. And maybe it's just part of them being so new. I mean, they're only 6 years into the game, it sounds like. Yeah. And so, I don't know. But, all right, well, thank you guys for watching. Please let us know what you guys think of Penelope. Have you tried the other expressions?
If you've had the toasted, I want somebody to let us know what they think of that.
Yeah.
Please.
We have an opportunity to get a couple more, but we're always cautious. You don't want to buy too many things that you're not going to enjoy. So let us know before we jump into that. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.